my name is Adrienne Trigg. I'm from Austin, Texas. I'm representing myself and Protect Texas Fragile Kids, and I'm against the bill. Let's see here. I brought some visual aids because I know it's late, so for my examples. But I want to ask you first, when you look at this bill, who this bill is serving by locking in restricting access to care. What happened to limiting the scope of government in our lives? I call this bill pain for profit. We're not just subscribers. I'm a mother of a medically fragile child, Hayden, that has been a house page for Representative Workman. He's 8 years old and he's qualified since birth to be institutionalized for round-the-clock care. Yet I have him at home where I manage all of his dozens of doctors and therapist appointments, and he has a good quality of life due to the team that I have developed for him. SB1414 would only restrict access to care for Texas medically fragile children. Managed care has already proven harmful to fragile kids. Being locked into an MCO for 12 months would make a terrible situation worse. In the midst of many ongoing problems with Star Kids managed care, please do not further restrict access to our highly specialized care that we need to survive. That does not benefit us. That only truly cripples us. When we were with our first MCO, we had months worth of denials for daily life-saving medicine, therapy, nursing pay reductions, imaging, wheelchair equipment delays, denials, and subspecialist doctors are now out of network. I brought this visual aid just to show you what happened within the first few months. It took 14 months for this broken down wheelchair to get replaced, and that normally takes 3 months. When this was changed over to MCOs, we got denials, and delays. When you have a pediatric child, by the time we got a new one, he'd already grown, he weighed more, so it cost 2 times to go have that fixed. Something else is this highly specialized piece of equipment is an RGO, and as you can see, it's molded to their body. So by the time this gets approved, the child grows. The next thing is food. Food you need every day. This was denied for months. And so we had to go and make it or go to our doctor's offices to pick it up. This is catheters. These catheters we use at least 5 times a day. I can't get any of this on Amazon Prime. I can't get it at HEB. These are things that are required for life-sustaining. That was fortunate for us that we were able to switch our MCOs. It took 45 days. In that time frame, we didn't have access to supplies. We had to go to the doctor's offices weekly to get these things. So these things, I just urge that you vote no on this bill and understand that it also doesn't represent those in rural communities. For rural communities, small town clinics and doctors often are rotating out of changing hands and ownership, and it took Medicaid years before some were allowed to name a clinic as a PCP where they could see anyone. So I hope you understand that and believe that it's imperative that more be done in this session to implement immediate protections and safeguards where more little Texans are not harmed under this delivery model, and I urge you to vote against this oppressive bill so you can move on to other productive legislation. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions, Ms. Trigg? Sure, Chair Coleman. Prior to going into managed care, what was the situation like? Did you have fee-for-service?
Did have fee-for-service.
Yeah, fee-for-service.
Yes, and I never had a single delay or denial for prescriptions or anything that we had, and he's 8 years old and he's had 22 surgeries. We never had a single issue.
So you had acute care under, was that fee-for-service as well?
It
and
was.
The wraparound was for the human services type care was also
so we have primary insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't know that I'm understanding your question correctly.
It's okay. We used to do this all kinds of ways. There are some programs that children are eligible for that are state level programs.
And this is a state level program, Star Kids.
Yeah.
So he has secondary insurance that is for fragile kids. We're under the waiver population because he is such acute care. Since birth, he qualified for institutionalization.
So ever since the implementation, you haven't been able to do I just want to make sure
Yes.
I'm very clear. It's the fee-for-service versus the
MCO.
MCO.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. I was listening very carefully.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate your testimony, and thank you for being here and sticking with us this long day. We appreciate it. Chair calls Robin Bradshaw. Robin may not be with us anymore. She is